Have you ever noticed that your body has the worst possible timing? You can go all day without a problem. You survive work, you survive traffic, then finally, just as you are drifting off to sleep, bam, Charlie horse. What should you do next? Hi, I'm Dr. Justin Lin, chronic pain physical therapist at Rehab and Revive. Today, we plan to talk about why recurring calf cramps happen, what your body may actually be trying to tell you, and what you can do about it. Because the answer may have very little to do with your calf. All right, let's get into it. So they blame the cramps on dehydration, magnesium, potassium, or just getting older. While those things can absolutely play a role, I think we're asking the wrong question. The real question isn't why your calf is cramping. The real question is why your body keeps pulling the fire alarm. In my experience as a chronic pain physical therapist, a charley horse is often less of a muscle problem and more of a warning light. Let's start with the obvious one, electrolytes. Yes, magnesium matters, potassium matters, sodium matters, and calcium matters. Your muscles and nerves depend on them to communicate properly. When these levels get too low, muscles can become more irritable and more likely to cramp. But here's the interesting thing. Many people take magnesium religiously. They drink electrolytes, they eat bananas, and they still cramp. Why? Because electrolyte problems are only one possible warning light, not the entire electrical system. Then we have tightness. People love blaming tight muscles, and sometimes they're right. But here's what I've learned. A muscle isn't always tight because it is short. Sometimes it's tight because it is scared. Sometimes it is tight because it is weak. And sometimes it is tight because it's overworked. Think about the employee who keeps working double shifts because nobody else showed up. Eventually that employee becomes exhausted. Your calf can do the same thing, especially if your hips aren't extending properly. Your glutes have checked out. Your walking mechanics aren't doing you any favors. The calf starts picking up extra shifts and eventually it files a complaint, usually at 2 a.m. Then we have circulation. This is one of my favorite topics because it is often overlooked. Your calf is sometimes called your second heart because every step you take helps pump blood and fluid back towards your heart. Movement creates flow, but what happens when movement disappears? What happens when we sit for 8 hours, 10 hours, or 12 hours? The pumping system becomes sluggish, the tissues become less nourished, and the environment becomes less ideal. This is why walking, soleus activation, ankle pumps, and the Birger-Allen exercise can be surprisingly helpful for some people. Not because they are magic, but because they restore flow. Now let's talk about nerves, because muscles don't make decisions, nerves do. Your calf is basically following instructions from headquarters. If headquarters sends confusing messages, the calf responds accordingly. I've seen patients with irritated nerves in their lower back, patients with spinal stenosis, patients with nerve entrapments, and patients with neurological irritation. The calf wasn't actually the problem. The calf was simply receiving bad information. It is hard to have a calm employee when management is sending panic emails all day. And here's the piece that ties everything together. Weakness. Not gym weakness, but endurance weakness. Modern life has created something fascinating. People sit more than ever, move less than ever, and walk less than ever, yet expect their bodies to perform like they did 20 years ago. Movement is what maintains movement. Circulation improves through movement. Endurance improves through movement, and neurological efficiency improves through movement. The body adapts to what it repeatedly does, and unfortunately, many of us have become extremely well-trained at sitting. So what should you do if you are dealing with recurring charley horses? First, make sure you're hydrated. Second, consider electrolyte balance. Third, improve calf endurance. Fourth, improve hip extension and walking mechanics. Fifth, improve circulation through regular movement. Sixth, investigate possible nerve involvement if symptoms are persistent. And finally, stop asking how to get rid of this cramp. Start asking what this cramp is trying to tell me, because the body is smarter than we often give it credit for. Symptoms are messages, not inconveniences. The goal isn't to shoot the messenger, the goal is to understand the message. If you've ever been awakened by calf cramp and made you question your entire existence, let me know in the comments below. Let us know what you found of this and drop your questions in the comments box below. Please like and subscribe because it generally helps us keep teaching you. I'm Dr. Lin. Remember, we heal smarter.